Hello everybody, this is Janice in New Zealand and I think I've gone live. It's always very strange because it whirs around before it finally goes live. So I think I'm live now. So what I wanted to share with you today is I've had another nudge from the universe, and for those of you that don't know, I've been receiving messages for 40 years. It took me 20 years to embrace them because it was way outside the square box thinking for my mindset. And then another sort of 10 years before I started really putting them to action in my life. And then finally, these last few years, what I've been doing is actually creating what I've been guided to do, which is to have a dream and to then bring that dream into a reality and turn it into reality. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And so the nudge that the universe gave me today was I've just written an e-zine. And I received lots of e-zines, and some of them are really nice and short, which are easy to read. And I thought I'm going to do a short one. But it's tricky because who I am a writer. And so with a writer, we are sharing concepts. And so my e-zines are never short because I'm always writing, and I enjoy writing, and it just kind of almost even just flows from me, which sometimes I think it's almost divine coming through me, and I'm just down here typing and doing the words. So what I wanted to talk about is, have you ever imagined your dreams? You know, what are your dreams? Because what we've got now is some interesting, challenging things happening in the world. And so I'm going to read some of this from my e-zine, which is, if you're receiving it, you can read it there. And it's kind of like, so when we've got dreams, it's deciding what we don't want. And so right now, right around the world, we know we don't want the virus. Now here in New Zealand, we are very lucky, and so that we have been able to eliminate it from the country. So we are back to living normally. Then people who come in, who fly into the country, have to go through a 2-week quarantine period. So from that perspective, I'm living in God's own, which is wonderful, and I'm very proud and privileged to be a Kiwi and be here in this part of the world where we managed it. But what we've already decided out of that, when we were in lockdown here, we don't want it. Nobody wants it. You don't want it in your country. So with the virus happening in the world, what it pushes us to do is we want to be healthier. So we're being healthier by wearing masks, which we don't have to do. We see a few people around the streets that are still doing it. But generally we don't need to do it anymore. But you're making a decision that that's what you're going to do. And you are also possibly even living healthier within your whole day-to-day eating process, vitamins and all those sorts of things. So you know that from that distress that it's causing and agony that it's causing, that you actually want to get back to living a normal life. But what you can also do is create a better life than you had before this happened as well. Now, there's an amazing movie, and of course, with the pandemic, what happened, this was going to be released in the movie theatres here in New Zealand. It was great because I was looking forward to seeing it because I follow this process myself. It's the movie called Dare to Dream, and it was just released in the US a couple of days ago, and it's hit #1 on, on Amazon or Apple, wherever it's been released, where people can watch it. Now, the wonderful thing about that is, obviously it's doing very well, but the most fantastic thing is people actually still want to dream. People still want to move from the life they've got now to a better life. So my question to you is, what do you want in your life? So what do you want that you didn't have it before, or what don't you want that then you go and create what you do want? So we're just using the pandemic. We want to have a healthier life. We want to be able to, because it makes us realize how precious life is. So it's almost like, well, so if I've got dreams that have never happened, what do I want to do about them? So the question that you've got to ask yourself is because this is what I've written, and so I'm just reading part of it. Have you ever wanted to be more confident, or have a job that you love, have a relationship that you really enjoy, and want to follow your dreams instead of supporting somebody else's dreams? Because that's really important. If you're a dove personality, you're a peacemaker, a caregiver, and you look after everyone else at your own expense. I teach that in my course, but that's very the Dove personality, the hardest personality to learn how to do that, because they like helping people, but they like helping people at their own expense. So you've got to decide on your own dreams. So then the other thing is, what are you ready to change in your life? To think about, what are you ready to change? Do you want to reinvent yourself? Now, you may not know what you want yet, but the fact that you actually, your inner being, your soul is urging you to make these changes is that you are being prompted to move forward. Or do you want to stop thinking negative thoughts and instead want to think positive thoughts? So it's like thinking about, what would any of that actually be useful for you? Now, I know years ago that it was, when I started my journey. So I just want to share a little story, because it's my birthday soon. And my sister rang, they're coming up for the weekend up here to the beach where I'm living. And my youngest sister texted me and said, oh, do you have a crock pot? And I said, well, crock pot is like a slow cooker. We can't decide why it's got a different name. And I said, well, why? We're having roast dinner on Saturday night, and Sunday night we're going to dinner, because she said she wanted to cook corned beef. And then she rings me and she said, I was trying to be smart. She said, I was trying to find out if you had one, because we would buy one for your birthday. And I said, no, I just go and borrow one from the family home when I need it. And I said, just buy me a bottle of champagne instead. I said, because I'm celebrating successes, and when the next thing happens with the movie, I'll celebrate with champagne. I've even got my sign up the back there. You might not be able to read it, but it says, champagne is the answer. So what I'm getting at here is that I was able to make a decision that aligns to my dreams. I'm not a great cook, so a crock pot or a slow cooker doesn't align to my dreams, whereas drinking champagne and celebrating success does. So what you've got to be able to do is sort out in your life, what are you going to say no to and what are you going to say yes to? Because the no is stopping you and the yes is taking you towards creating your dreams. So the other thing I wanted to share, so my daughters have both decided, they've got bored with their careers. They're in their 30s and they've both decided to retrain into a new career. And so what they're doing is creating a new outcome for yourself. And that's my mobile phone, and that is law of attraction in action. And why I say law of attraction in action is because the Mustang, I won't take the call, the Mustang Sally song is actually the car that I want for when I receive, or when I've sold the movie script. So that's the car I want, which is a yellow Mustang convertible. And so to get the law of attraction working more effectively, every time my phone rings, I hear that song. So I've just downloaded, or actually my daughter's downloaded it off iTunes for me. But that's actually the law of attraction working, and how we do things like that make the law of attraction more effective in our life. And how it works is that every time I feel it, I feel better, I feel happier, I feel more joyous, which is then aligning me to the true essence of who I am, which is the law of attraction, bringing the people that I need to meet into my life to make it work. So that was a bit of extra that I didn't expect, so the universe has sent that in so you could hear my law of attraction song. Okay, so what I want to talk about is getting back to this, which is Evolve Your Brain. Now, it's a book from Dr. Joe Dispenza. It's quite intense part of it. But what he's talking about here, and what I wanted to share with you, was this section where he talked about attitude. And I love this because, I mean, I've been an attitude specialist. I renamed myself the Success Attitude because that's what my life has been about while I've been on this journey. And the Success Attitude means that when I've got a problem, I look for a solution. And so with this, it's how attitude affects us. And it is in the book. But he says your attitude, negative or positive, creates a connection in your brain, which goes down to your body, which goes into your cells, that flows into your genes and your protein and your body. And then we express life by how healthy we feel in our body. So if we've got a negative attitude, all that's flown through our body and we feel yucky. If we've got a positive attitude, all that flows through our body and we feel better. So you can find that in the book, Evolve Your Brain, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Or I actually, and the reason I keep learning this is because this is what I'm teaching my students when I'm coaching them as well. So basically for you, it's thinking about, okay, so what's negative in my life? What's not working that I'm not happy about that I want to change? Because then that's the bit that's going to start making you feel happier. So, I mean, I know it's easier said than done. There's actually a book called that. But for you to have your dreams come true, and I sent this to my man the other side of the world the other day, dreams can come true. You've got to make some changes in your thinking to be able to attract things into your life. So here's just a little story that I put in the e-zine. But what basically it said is that our life is affected by everything in the past, good, bad, or indifferent. And that's our thought process. So if we want to change, as I said just before, we want to change and attract something different, we've got to think differently. So if you want to go from Los Angeles across to New York, you can go on Route 66, I think it is. It'll get you straighter. Then if you drive down to Texas, across to Florida and up again, it's going to take you longer, and you hope you're going to get there. So what I do in the coaching is like, what is your end goal? And then we work back in it. So, for example, mine was when I got the movie was 2006, and it was all too scary for me. I didn't commit to it till like 2011 or 12. But that's my own goal, and there's been 1,000 steps over the years to get to there, and I'm just in the process of contacting directors, so I'm closer. I couldn't have done that when I started this goal because I didn't have a movie script, I didn't have a website, I didn't have a synopsis to be able to present this. So when you've got a goal, it's like, this is what I want to achieve, it's happiness. And so you look at the different areas of life and rate yourself, and where are you with this? If your relationship's at 2 and you want it to be at 10, you've got to learn how to have a relationship. If you're not being the real you and you're at a 3 or 4 and you want to be the real you, you've got to learn how to do that. And so that's what I do with the coaching as well. So it's unscrambling your thoughts, and it's giving you some new thought processes to be able to think differently. It's like in a new job. It takes you a while to be able to master the new job, or even, for me anyway, master a new recipe, because I'm not much of a cook. So now, I like making people happy because I've been on the road and the process myself. So I've had low self-esteem, I've had negative attitude, I've had wondering what life's about, I've been lost, I've been down, I've been, I've just experienced it all until I found out what my problem was. And that night changed my life, and it was a critical turning point. So when you look at your life, what's going to change your life? It's a critical turning point where you're starting to decide, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of this shit, this crap, this negativity. I'm actually going to do something different. And when that happens, it's like you're starting to rewire your brain. So for 30 years, I've been working on my self-esteem. I still do. Every day, I do things that make me feel better. That's what you're doing when you're wanting to have a positive attitude and moving upwards. So for me, with the latest thing from this book from Joe Dispenza, and I've got another one that I've read, and I've got another one that I'm reading of his, it's like the next lot of visualization I'm doing is visualizing the movie script being signed, a document being signed, so that I can then, that's my goal, and then what I've got to do is take all the steps towards that. And so I visualized the shopping, the new black shoes I want to get, the sunglasses I saw that I want to go and try on, and the new clothes and the new kitchen and things that I want. So I'm visualizing that, which is way out there in front of me. It might be next week, it might be a month away, I don't know. But that's what I'm stepping towards. And so for you with your goal, the same as the movie Dare to Dream, it's like changing your processes, your thinking patterns, to be able to believe and do the steps that are necessary to achieve your goal, because it's not going to happen tomorrow. My dream that I started when I started writing the movie script, I didn't even know how to write a movie script, has taken me 7 or 8 years. But that was learning and being able to finance myself to do. Your dreams are going to be the same. There are smaller dreams that will be able to be created quicker, and one of them just might be to change your mindset. So that is a quickening of a dream, and then from there, it's like, well, what is it you want to create? But what are you wanting to create in your life is going to take a longer time. So what I'm doing is with the people on my Facebook page, if you're in the part of the Success Attitude Movement group, I'm contacting them, seeing where they are. So for yourself as well, where are you? Let me know. I'll put my email. It's janice@attitudespecialist.com. I'll put it in the link down below so that you can send me a link. So where are you? What are you ready to do? Because this is also one of my quotes. This is on my wall. Falling down is part of life. Getting back is living. So every time we fall down, it's like, well, what are we learning? What do we need to learn out of that? What do we need to do to fine-tune ourselves? And then for all of us, and I did put this up on my Facebook page before, a couple of days ago, I was nudged to do this as well. Create a poster, movie sold, drinking champagne, bought car. Yes, 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 thank you, universe. So you've got to be able to change your life so that you're integrating these things in your life that are going to take you towards your dreams. So for me, no to crock pot, yes to champagne. So what is it for you? What are you going to say no to, and what are you going to say yes to? So as we look at what the Dare to Dream movie is going to bring to us, it's not actually released in New Zealand yet. I'm looking forward to it. I've just been onto the website. You may have seen it, and lucky you if you have. It's on its way here. Then I'm sure I'm going to enjoy it. Actually, I know I'm going to enjoy it because I love just even the shorts and what's up on the internet now. But it's thinking differently, and they thought differently as well, because they were going to put it out into all the cinemas, and then with the virus, all the cinemas are closed, and so therefore they put it out online. And even with my movie, I've had to think again. Like, my thought was, we make this a blockbuster, and it's a movie in the theatres. But in 3 years' time, or 2 or 3 years' time, are all the movie theatres going to be reopened? I hope so. We don't know, but then it can be released online. So it's dare to dream. What are your dreams? How are you going? Do you need some help? This is what I do. I make dreams come true. I make them come true for myself so that I know what to do. Flick an email, let me know where you're at, janice@attitudespecialist.com. Click on the link, book a free call with me. What we do is we go with your dreams, your challenges, and I give you some tips and ideas. I've given you plenty of tips and ideas here, what I do. So hope you enjoyed this, and yes, leave any questions if you've got something that you want some help with. And remember, dare to dream, because those dreams that you have as you wake up in the morning are the dreams that you're going to turn into reality. Those dreams that you have before you go to bed at night, or those dreams when you're sitting there and you're bored in a meeting and you suddenly go off into a little world, or you're walking down the beach. Those are the dreams there that you need to turn into reality, because that's what your life is about. That's what you're here to do. It's up to you. If it's to be, it's up to you. Thank you for listening, and have a fabulous day.